Morning people, day 9 of the Great Rugger Run, and I'm here at Plymouth Albion this morning on the pitch. Beautiful spot, pitch overlooked by this wonderful old clock tower in the corner there. I'm just going to wander down this pitch now and just have a look around. I think I first came here to Brickfields with Blackheath, but it was a second team game, and we played up on a pitch. It must have been up over on the hill over there somewhere, I think. And anyway, I remember coming back down after that game, and Esher were playing Plymouth here in the Championship. And I just remember watching, it must have been most of the second half, I think, and thinking, wow, like the level, the intensity and the size of the people and the collisions were just like out of my league at that time. Bearing in mind, I was only, one league further down with Blackheath. Little did I know that halfway through that very season, I'd leave Blackheath and join Esher and make my Championship debut later that same year away at Leeds Tykes. So I was closer to it than I ever thought, really. Probably my best memory of playing on this pitch was a couple of seasons after that. We came here with Esher at the end of season playoffs, relegation playoffs. I think it was the only time it ever happened was that season. Maybe the season after as well. But I was supporting Dave Slemon around about this part of the pitch. I was just running an inside line. What I thought was just going to be another, just a dummy, basically. And Slem started dummying side to side as he got towards a 22, around about here, throwing defenders all over the place. He got scragged around about here, just inside the 22. And I appeared on his inside shoulder, scooped up the ball, and probably making noises similar to this, managed to get under the sticks. It was really early in the game, so there was no cheering or hollering. We desperately needed the win to avoid relegation, which fortunately we managed to cling on and achieve. So it was a very happy memory for me and the Esher boys down here at Plymouth, because that confirmed our spot in the Championship for the following season. Just going to walk off the pitch now. Lovely playing surface here. Rumour has it that former DOR Graham Dawe used to nip down to the beaches and fill his truck up with sand if it ever needed a bit of extra drainage back in the day. I'm not sure if that's true. Could be a rumour, could be true. Just going to come and scooch on up here and see if we can find some nice people from Plymouth to talk to. It's a little bit windy, apologies if it's struggling to hear. Here we go. Coming up to the, this is the Old J post-match bar and hospitality with Mr. Mark Mears.
Hi Tim.
How you doing?
I'm alright, thank you.
Good. Let's take a look inside this bar and see what the post-match life is like here at Plymouth Albion. After you, sir.
Thank you. Music's on.
Yeah, rock and roll in here today, which is nice to see. Now, obviously, it's not all set up yet, but look at this lovely environment for post-match. What's it like, Mark, in here after a game?
It isn't set up for the match at the minute because we had a boxing do here on a Saturday night. But normally you've got all tables all out, all filled up with people who are here for corporate hospitality. But the atmosphere after the game, when the corporate people have had a few beers and the team come in and have a few beers, it's great. We've got a great singer now who provides post-match entertainment. It's a real good feeling in here afterwards.
What kind of songs is he playing?
She won the German version of what was it, Becky? The German version of
Germany's Got Talent or something?
Yeah, Germany's Got Talent. I think it was that one, actually, to be fair. Yeah. So and it's a broad spectrum of stuff that she sings, but it's good. Yeah, it's good. Good. It's nice to have something like that. And then, at half time you've now got the crossbar challenge where they go out on the pitch and
really?
People are trying to hit the crossbar from the 22.
How many people do that?
I think there were about 6 last time, and one guy actually managed it, so he's got a few free beers from that one. So.
Good stuff. Yeah, I remember the post-match experience here at Plymouth just being wonderful in these kind of tented village you got here on the corner of the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, obviously a traditional clubhouse is great, and there's a lot to be said for that. But I think this is really awesome as well.
Yeah, it's good fun in here, and when it's really jumping and the boys have won, it is a great feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Let's go and see what else we can find. After you again,
Okay.
Mark. We're going to wander off now to the business part of the club, shall we call it? Round the back here, there's a building which really took my attention when I turned up this morning. It looks the absolute business to me. What's the name of this club? This bit here?
The clubhouse. So
Okay.
this is just the clubhouse.
Okay.
And then you come around the clubhouse corner to the bunker.
Here it is.
Blood,
Just-
sweat and tears.
Just look at that. I mean, if you're not expecting to get some work done in a place like that, I'm not sure where you will. Now, this is pause on the outside, Mark. Tell me about all this.
Well, this was just something that myself and some of the interns did over the lockdown. So we came here and just painted the outside of it, painted the inside of it, cleaned it all through. And then Max got some new equipment to put in. Max, the managing director, got some new equipment to put in for the boys, and also it's now run as a commercial gym.
Brilliant. So earning a bit of money for Albion as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, it looks amazing. So let's go inside and take a look at where the pain happens.
Yeah. So you got, basically, this is the machine side. You know, if you're into machines, then this is where it's going to hurt. The shoulder press, leg press, pull, and a sort of a bench push, and then a lat pull down machine. So 5 big machines in here. That's the boss.
You're telling me you're doing some promo work?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through. Let's go through to this side.
And then this is a side where a lot of the sweat and tears come, particularly on the assault bikes and the Concept 2 bikes.
Let's look at these ones. Why are these ones so good, Mark?
I mean, this is like a watt bike. I mean, it runs the same as the Concept 2 row machines. Very simple to operate, but it really can induce some sick moments, shall we say.
Good stuff. And is there any other bits of equipment that you're particularly fond of?
Well, for myself, I quite like the squat racks and whatnot. So squatting and deadlifting in my forte has been a short ass. Never been very good at the old bench press, but I quite like the squats and the deadlifts.
Yeah, real core exercises, aren't they? Good stuff. So what's it like in here? You know, when there's like a group training session going on, what's the kind of atmosphere?
Well, funny, this evening there will be a group training session. So the boys will have a session with the 2 SSE coaches, Jack Perry and Jack Mears, who also happens to be my son. They'll all be in here. There'll be about 10 of them. And it's a, G each other up, see how far you can go sort of session. But I think you'll probably see last week's session up on the wall there.
Right.
Up on the
okay, let's
board.
go and take a look at that. Yeah. That's just pain.
That's enough
pain.
to get a bit of sweat rolling in here. I mean, even on a cold day with about 10 guys in here doing that sort of session, the roller shutter needs to come up just to get a bit of air in here because it does get fairly hot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're banging music system as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a bigger music system over there that they plug in and blast out what they call music. But being an older generation, it doesn't really sit well with me.
Fair enough. Now, I've just spotted something else. This could be used for positive things, or it could be used for negative things.
Yeah, they're just a little set of scales. The proper set of scales are in the therapy centre.
Okay. And do people end up in Fat Club if they're a little bit
yes.
got too much of the wrong kind of weight?
Yeah. And I probably should be there myself, actually.
Okay, should we go through to
let's go through to the
have a quick look at the therapy centre, if that's okay. Cracking setup in there. Gym culture at clubs, I think, is one really important thing, sort of the higher up you go. And I can imagine, well, you're saying it's true, Mark, aren't you, that the gym culture in there is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you.
Mark's got this.
Yeah, you can grab that.
Okay.
So Pat's just taken the shockwave machine through to work on his client, which is something the boys really love.
Lovely. So what happens in here then?
So this is where we tend. So Pat and I sort of run this as a private clinic.
Right.
We have more treatment centres down the other end for the boys mainly, but some of them still come up in here when we need to use the shockwave machine, or we're doing some cupping or needling or stuff like that. That tends to happen.
What's the cupping? Describe that for me.
Oh, cupping. That's your good old cupping session. So it seems to be the in thing with a lot of athletes these days.
I've seen pictures on social media.
You see the red rings.
I've never experienced it though.
So you've got these sorts of cups. Now the traditional Chinese way of doing it is fire cupping, but let's just pop one on you, and then you can see what happens. Oh, that one's not going to work for some reason. That's a great start, isn't it? Let's try this one. See if this is going to work. Yeah, that'll work.
Ooh, hang on. I feel that.
There we go.
Oh, is it my hair? Is it hair or is it my arm?
Yeah, it probably could. Let's pop it on this side and see. But you can see how your skin is raising in there. So let's pop that out. Yeah, it's not making a good seal on you at the minute, but
no worries.
You can get the gist.
Yeah.
And
what
this
does
is when you
it
get
do?
all these red rings on all these athletes. So this really promotes circulation. It's not something I do that often.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things people do as fads and whatnot, but it does have its place for loosening up fascia around shoulders and stuff and helping shoulder mobility, loosening up things on the back as well.
Nice. Okay, let's go through to the clubhouse, shall we? Because as always, with the vast majority of rugby clubs, there is a ton of history involved. With places where the game's been played for so many years, places like this. And there's one very specific, nice piece of history about Albion, which we're going to learn about now. Thinking.
So we just come into the Jimmy Peters bar.
And there on the wall you've got a picture of Jimmy himself.
So this is the Jimmy Peters bar, and
Yes.
this is Jimmy here. And tell me a bit about Jimmy, Mark.
Well, Jimmy was the first, I'm going to use the word black player because that's what appears on all the Museum of Rugby stuff from Twickenham. So Jimmy was a Plymouth Albion player who played for Devon and then was selected to play for England, and he was the first black player to play for England. So he's part of the history of this club. Great, by all accounts, a great halfback. Probably would still be up there today, right, by all accounts of I've read of how he played. You've got his history from where he was born in 1879, and then his England's call. My favourite little story is the England versus Scotland, March 1907. 5th home defeat in succession against Scotland, and Peter scored the only English points, and his try was the only one in the whole season conceded by Scotland. But even in those days, controversy seemed to follow him around because when the Springboks came into play, Jimmy was picked to play for Devon, who were the county champions at the time. Jimmy was an established player, and they had 18,000 people at the game to watch the Springboks. But the Springboks refused to play because there was a black player in our side. And they had to get the actual South African High Commissioner out the stand to actually persuade them to take the field, which they did eventually. Unfortunately, the Springboks won that game. But because of that, Jimmy never got selected to play against them for England. He wasn't even invited to the selection game. So,
yeah, a real sad story of the times, isn't it? And progress has obviously been made with racism, but it still exists, and we still need to stamp on it whenever we see it.
Indeed. We do indeed.
Okay, brilliant. Jimmy Peters, well done. Let's talk about Albion today. How are you guys going at the moment?
Well, we've not had the most auspicious start to the season with 4 defeats. It's there or thereabouts. We've got quite a few injuries at the minute, which is my job to try and fix. But there is something there. You can see it building. We'd hoped it would click against Sale at the weekend, and it almost did. But eventually we went down 38-27, unfortunately. But I do think something is going to click soon, and somebody's going to be on the end of a pasting. So the boys are there, they work hard, the coaches work hard, the backroom people work hard. It's going to click.
Yeah, I mean, there might have been a seminal moment as well on Saturday, because I understand the coach broke down on the way home as well.
Yeah.
Surely it can't get any worse than that.
Boys didn't get back till 4:30 in the morning, so it was a long old day. And what had happened previously, they booked a hotel for us, and then when we got there, they'd booked double beds for 2 boys in each room, so we had all that to sort out before we got there. We didn't get there till about 11:30 on the night before, so it wasn't the most auspicious of trips, shall we say.
Okay, well, hopefully things will improve from here from you. It sounds like you're all pushing in the right direction, so
Yeah, we'll get there.
yeah, good man. Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim.
Good stuff, guys. That is Plymouth Albion. I'm just going to wander back out onto the pitch now through the other bar. Lovely area here post-match if you didn't fancy the tented village. I'm going to be on the road now. Long day today and a bit of a later start as well. It's basically a marathon for me today. I'm going to Plimpton, Victoria, then where am I going next? Ivy Bridge, and then Totnes after that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the road.